Hey guys, get excited. Today we're at one of my favorite spots at Buchholz Nursery to give you a 360 garden tour of all the cool plants in the ground that Talon Buchholz has planted. Y'all, we purchased Buchholz Nursery a few years ago, and he has some of the coolest plants from the far corners of the earth. And I love it. There's this awesome Japanese maples, conifers, unique, rare, and interesting trees all around this garden. So get excited. We're gonna bring you a unique 360 garden tour here at Buchholz Nursery. Guys, we're MrMaple.com, a family mail-order nursery. We're passionate about Japanese maples. We'd appreciate it if you subscribed here on the channel because we work hard to bring you daily content all about Japanese maples and gardening. So if you like this kind of thing, make sure you smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and shop with us on MrMaple.com because that allows us to shoot videos like this for you. Guys, I'm standing beside a collection of Tamukiyamas. It looks like one solid Tamukiyama. There's actually about 6, maybe 7 different Tamukiyamas planted together to create this massive effect of a much larger Tamukiyama in a quicker fashion. This is a trick you can do in your garden to sort of make it look like you've got a giant tree in the spring and the summer. Now during the winter, your trick's gonna be revealed because people can see all the different trunks, but they grow together in a unique fashion when you plant them close together. And eventually their roots will grow together and almost like they graft together and become one tree, but they'll have multiple trunks. And as you can see, since it's done with all the same cultivar, it looks like one solid selection. Guys, Tamukiyama, it's a selection by Kobayashi Momiji in Japan. It holds its color well, it's super heat tolerant. It leaves out 2 weeks later than many of the other ones, making it frost resistant because it's not in leaf yet when much of that frost is happening. It is an amazing classic red lace leaf. It's kind of cool what Talon Buchholz did here with planting multiple trees together to create a much larger effect. Super cool, super different. A trick that you might try out in your own garden. Guys, we're gonna talk about a bunch of cool plants here at Buchholz Nursery. And I'm gonna talk about a bunch of them. Then we got a 360 view. Right here, I've got Thuya, and this is Frankie Boy. This is a Western cedar that has a unique texture. It looks like little threads out there in the garden. You get that yellow color, which is really nice as well. That's an evergreen. So it pairs out here in the garden and plays off the Japanese maples that are changing throughout the seasons. And then here you've got this consistent, unique texture, but unique color out there with an evergreen presence year-round in the garden. You know, this Western cedar, easy to grow. We offering a lot on MrMaple.com. And I like it just because the texture is unlike things that you find on Japanese maples. It's unlike what you find on many conifers as well. And because of that, a lot of collectors love having this tree in their garden. Rock star with this yellow thread foliage. Guys, we got a lot of cool trees out here. And we got maples in the background. If you can see this right here and right there, there's actually 2 Acer Pomatum sunsets. Now sunset is a weeping Japanese maple. It's a lace leaf. It's a green and it has a little bit of a purple eye in the center. But what this tree is known for is having amazing fall colors that are reminiscent of a sunset. You get yellows, oranges, and reds. I mean, it's beautiful. If you catch sunset, it is outstanding. We actually caught the sunset the other day. We took Corbin and some of the guys, Corbin, Joe, and Matt, and we actually went out to the coast of Oregon and caught the sunset. I mean, that was an amazing, fun time. Had a little fire on the beach. Fun time for sure. I love doing garden walkthroughs and talking about plants. So I think this 360 is something a little different that I've never done before. But guys, just because I hadn't done it before doesn't mean that it can be awesome. And I'm telling you, I'm super excited about this 360. Seeing if this garden tour gives you the feeling that you're here in the garden with me, because that's the idea. Right here, I got a white Trident maple. We got Waco Nishiki. Waco Nishiki leaves out in the spring, almost pure white. To me, it's a rock star when it comes to Trident maples because it gives you a color variation on what traditionally has been just a straight species street tree. An extremely ornamental tree, easy to grow, and this white color is just to die for. It's consistent every year, and it just leaves out just pure white. You can actually see a little bit of veining in the leaf, and then later on in the season, when you think this tree would die during the summer, because it's got so white that it couldn't handle high heat, it actually turns green. So during the summer months, it actually turns green to help it handle the heat, gets chlorophyll into the leaves. And then in the fall with Wakonishiki, we typically get bright reds to bold reds in the fall. So it has some decent fall color as well. Kind of unique because most things that are this variegated get burned up in the sun. This one, it adapts during the sunlight during the summer. Just turns green, which is pretty cool because it's something that you can consistently have out in your garden and it's always gonna look beautiful. So really cool Trident maple here. It's one that I try to make available as much as I can, but I'm telling you, next level. To me, it differs from ones, for instance, like Conifers, also another white Trident maple, but it typically gets some pinks in the early spring on top of the white mixed in, and the fall color is typically more on that peach color to oranges for Conifers, where Wakonishiki typically gives it that red fall color. Guys, lots of cool plants as we come through here. Right back here, this is a rock star. This is Cusa Akatsuki. Now, Akatsuki is a unique variegated Cusa dogwood. It's got a variegation that is almost like what you think of something like wolf eyes, where you have a green center with a white margin, but it's spotted with green inside of that margin. A unique thing about Akatsuki is you typically start off with a white bloom, but then it develops into a pink bloom, which is next level for a variegated Chinese dogwood. Chinese dogwoods, they're awesome because they're disease resistant, they're easy to grow, and they're a unique tree because they bloom during the summer months. So you give you a really nice bloom during those summer months and starts off white, then goes to pink. Some people get confused because they see this tree and they leaf out when it blooms out and they think it's supposed to be pink. It starts out white first. But Cusa dogwoods also typically give you some good fall color, so you can get some really nice shades of red out of this in the fall as well. Next level, Japanese selection of a Chinese dogwood. Guys, there's a lot of cool plants out here. Tons of cool plants. And one that's awesome, this is Acer Pomatum dissectum emerald lace. This is a super heat tolerant, weeping green lace leaf Japanese maple selection. It has a leaf like Seiryu, but a heavily pendulous habit. This was found by David Sabo in Charlotte, North Carolina, mailed to Del Laux all the way over here in Oregon, and he introduced it into the nursery trade. Del Laux, legendary nurseryman. He was a good friend of ours. He passed away. We've actually got some videos on Del Laux. You should go check them out and his introductions. But this is probably one of his most popular selections to date. Definitely has some characteristics like Seiryu. Has that same extremely frilly leaf, a little bit smaller than some of the other lace leaves, but it also shares its heat tolerance and durability. It has good vigor, but you can just see this nice weeping habit here. This thing is a bulletproof, super heat tolerant, the most heat tolerant green lace leaf on the market today. If you're looking for a heat tolerant green lace leaf, look no further than emerald lace. Can handle full sun in the deep south and not miss a beat. Red fall color on this though, that's dynamically different than something like Verdus or Waterfall that typically goes to those yellows and oranges. This thing very consistent on that red fall color. So if you're looking for something that is gonna flip the switch a little bit, give you something different on a weeping lace leaf, an awesome selection to have out there in the landscape. To me, next level green lace leaf, and it's becoming a staple in the trade today. As I'm walking up through here, I got another Thuya. And Thuyas are so cool. We talked about one earlier, Frankie Boy. This one probably reminds you a little bit of that. This is Thuya whipcord. And it has that unique texture similar to that we saw on Frankie Boy. Frankie Boy had that more pyramidal shape. This one here has just this whipcord shape, and the needles, this foliage, just sort of hangs out like a cord off of this cedar. Super durable, easy to grow, but the texture, year-round interest, being an evergreen, an awesome thing to pair out here in the Japanese maple landscape and the garden. To me, it's so fun to be able to pair all these cool plants in your garden. Now, Talon, he pairs a lot of different trees everywhere we go. Right here, we actually have a really cool blooming selection of a lilac, and this is called Tiny Dancer. And you're seeing some nice blue lavender kind of colors right now. Not so familiar with this lilac selection, but I had to mention it because y'all are gonna be asking in this video because it's blooming right here in the center. Definitely seems kind of cool. Seems a little smaller in stature. As we're coming around here, we've got the original Acer Japonicum Algaton. Now, Algaton means blue-green and weeping. This thing, as you can see, is amazing. It has that leaf structure of Acer Japonicum, but it's a lace leaf. And as you can see, it has this flat top weeping habit. Doesn't get a lot of height, but spreads out, making a beautiful, just unique, large leafed, lace leaf Japanese maple selection for the garden. This particular selection, it was introduced in the trade by Buchholz. But this was originally Acer Japonicum Ed Woods #1. Edsel Wood introduced Beniotaki. You may see Woods #2 as a large leaf Japonicum selection. Woods #1, that's Algaton. Algaton was Woods #1. That's a code name. It really, you know, even Woods #2, I wish it would have had a better cultivar name. This one here was Woods #1 and it became Algaton through Buchholz. He put a name on it because he really liked it. And it is beautiful. I mean, it is probably the most unique, one of the more unique Acer Japonicum selections. Edsel Woods, he would host these spaghetti-like dinners is what I've been told. And it would be like set up in almost like an auction type format where he would auction off some of his cool seedlings. Japonicum #1, Edsel Wood #1 became Algaton. And this thing is just a rock star out here. In hotter climates, you may need to give it some protection from the hot afternoon sun, but up here in the Pacific Northwest, this thing can handle a full sun situation. And as you can see, just the branches, how they undulate and weep outward, this creates a dramatic effect out there in the landscape. Now, the big leaf, that lace leaf, is pretty cool, but on Japonicums, that's next level because this gets the fall colors of the Japonicums where you get yellows, oranges, and reds in the fall. It's hard to beat a Japonicum in fall color, and you have this weeping-like habit. That is spectacular. As this tree matures, and it's already getting past it a little bit now, but you get red tassel flowers on the selection as well. So you get the red tassel flowers of an Acer Japonicum, which are bigger, more prominent, just like the leaves and the foliage. And that means you've got a rock star tree that gives you unique interest you don't get out of many Japanese maples. That red tassel flower plays off of those green Japonicum leaves, giving you something extra out there in the landscape. Guys, really awesome selection. As we come around here, I gotta show you the Cedars. And this is Cedars Decurrens Mop and Glow. Now, I love the cedars, the incense cedars. If you rub up against this tree, you're gonna smell like cedar. It's just gives a unique fragrance in the garden and landscape. But Mop and Glow is unique in the fact that on the tips of the new growth, when you're given sunlight, you get this yellow variegation across it. This is an easier cedar to grow that can give you that yellow color that contrasts with that darker, older growth. I mean, that's pretty cool in an evergreen to pair out here in this Japanese maple garden. Definitely pretty cool. Something that's, you know, outside of the box when it comes to conifers, but it's one that's awesome because it's variegated against itself and gives you unique evergreen interest out here in the garden. Guys, right here, we've got Pinus longiana Little Pat. And this thing's got such a cool little conical shape. This isn't one I'm too familiar with, but the dense habit, the short needles, it has a little bit of a blue color to it with, in that evergreen short needle, which gives it a kind of bluish appearance. That dense habit and pyramidal shape means this is easy to grow in the landscape. I mean, this is one I probably think we should probably be producing more. Not too familiar with it, but I mean, this thing, I can see a lot of use with this shape out there. A little wider than something like Twombly's, but still a narrow footprint, dense shape, and tight dense habit. I mean, this is gonna fit in those small places in your landscape and garden. And guys, we're gonna leave this pine and come over and talk about this pretty awesome Cypress. Guys, this is Cypress obtusa melody. Now, this is such a cool Hinoki cypress. It's got a golden foliage to it, real intricate, looks almost dissected. Next level Hinoki cypress out there in the landscape. This is typically a shorter selection, but as you can see here, a lot of these trees here at Buchholz Nursery, they've got a lot of age to them. And this one's definitely one of the older conifers out here. You can see it's been limbed up a little bit to allow people to walk past it. But this yellow color as an evergreen is really nice. The foliage being so dissected, that really helps out here as well. Super awesome Hinoki cypress. That is pretty unique. But I know you've caught this on your view, and I got to talk about this. This is Picea pungent, so it's a Colorado blue spruce called Spring Ghost. So you get that blue color on the older growth that everyone loves about Colorado blue spruces. But right now, the foliage right now is super white on the new growth. That gives a two-tone contrast. That is outstanding, next level. This is something you should definitely check out. It's just something that adds that extra color out here in the landscape. Guys, I appreciate y'all jumping in today on this 360 walkthrough. The idea is letting you feel like you're here in the landscape, here in the garden at Buchholz Nursery with me, to see all these cool trees that are around. This is that big Tamukiyama we started out with. We did that full 360. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure you're subscribed here on the MrMaple Show. And as always, we appreciate if you shopped with us on MrMaple.com. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.